and welcome to Stretching the Word. I'm your host, Sister Valerie, and not today, devil, just not this year. Well, here we are. It's Christmas Eve. It's the last day before that big celebration of the day that we call Christmas. But now, what is Christmas really all about? Well, let's go back and let's even talk about the spelling of the word. We know that originally it was spelled Christmas, Christmas. Then all of a sudden, or so it seems to me, there was no longer the Christ, but now there was an X in front of us. So a lot of people became very upset about that. And I mean, the war of the words started, well, you're taking Christ out of Christmas and oh. And I mean, great debates are still going on about whether we should spell out the word or whether we should put the letter X in front of it. Well, doing my research, there was a whole lot of discussion going on, and it said that the letter X comes from the Greek alphabet, and when you break it all down, the X still stands for Christ. And then it also told me that, as we would say way back in the day, that a scribe first used the X as an abbreviation because he was writing on parchment paper and it was very, very expensive, and so he was looking for any way that he could save space. And so he began to use the Greek letter X, which stands for Christ, as they say, or Christos in the Greek. So, yet, my thing is this. Come on, people. We that are believers in Christ, why are we being distracted by the enemy? It's just a distraction. Whether it's spelled Christ or whether they use the X. Don't get distracted. Don't fall into the entrapment. And get off of the real reason. Because if you know Christ and are known of Christ, it doesn't matter how they're spelling it, because nobody can take the Christ out of Christmas but you or me. It's all about how we see it, not how the world or society spells it. It's about the meaning that's in our hearts toward that day. But see, don't even get caught up on that day. We are to celebrate Christ every day. So we cannot fall into the trap of it's spelled Christmas or if it's spelled Xmas. We just can't, people. Move on past the beggarly elements. But then, I said, well, everybody wants to know, well, when did Christmas start to begin to be celebrated as a social thing? They say back in the 4th century. And the reason December the 25th was chosen, it says, was because it followed, I hope I pronounced this right, Saturnalia, which was a pagan festival where people feasted and exchanged gifts. It says the church in Rome began celebrating Christmas on December 25th in the 4th century during the reign of Constantine, the first Christian emperor, possibly to weaken pagan traditions. So that's the first recording that they have, but we know that the first celebration really occurred when he was born. That was the celebration right there. And we'll talk more about that on Christmas Day. But let's not get entangled again with the yoke of bondage, trying to figure out how it should be spelled. Because if we are true believers of Christ, every day is a holy day and every day is a holiday, because we celebrate the life and the death of Christ every day. We are supposed to bring that peace to earth. And we are supposed to have the joy of the Lord, which is our strength, every day. Not just one day out of the year, but every day. Let's make it a celebration unto Christ.